It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time on the catch and run.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47.
Here's Fields.
Then the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First carry now for David Montgomery. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 1 rushing touchdown, yes, but look at the rushing yards. He was up near 200.
The one phrase I'd use to describe that performance, he carved up that defense.
From the 22, Fields. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
Let's go.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Throwing again on 2nd down.
Fields sends it to the sideline, and Mooney makes the catch.
And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. And his kick is indeed good. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
So now the Colts will get their first opportunity with the football. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it is permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team that wins.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 17 carries, 72 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
To throw on 3rd down, Bauer. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And on is the punter Charlton now as he's able to get this one away.
A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game.
And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Now Montgomery, he's got it on the draw. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. On the ground, it's Montgomery. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. A shotgun snap, Fields. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Here's Fields. Able to find Isabella. And he will have the Bears first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. That's going to set him back 5 yards. From the 50, here's Fields. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. DJ Jones able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Back to throw. Fields. Over the middle. That's hauled in by Isabella. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll... also lead to a 4th down. Blake Gillikin on to punt here as he'll send this one away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. So not only do they get the fumble recovery on the punt, but now look at this field position. He almost took it the distance.
And the ability to not just make the play, but turn it into something big, that's what coaches harp on all the time. How do we create big plays that'll change the game? And that may have been one that just did.
Play action. It's Fields. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Now it's Fields. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. He finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. They have the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Takes it at the 7. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Operating from the gun, Bauer. Going right side here, and that's complete.
This defense for the Bears, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
Yeah, they held them completely out of the end zone, just held them to a field goal. So they're not just hoping for a repeat here. They're hoping to do it even better. A shutout is their goal.
A good gain on first has them set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now a give to Taylor. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Throwing on first down. Bauer.
And a throw for Pittman is intercepted. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Bears are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. On 2nd and 10, Fields. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields.
Throw left side, complete to Isabella. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34. Fields.
And that is incomplete.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
Quiddy Pay
able to record his 5th sack of the season.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
comes the Bears punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And that is how you do it, my friends. This will be spotted out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession. The Indy offense at the line and set to go, as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Back to throw. Bauer. And this is going to be incomplete. The Colts send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And a fair catch is called for. He will take it in to give his guys some excellent field position here. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Montgomery. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So that one will be accepted. Now Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
2 minutes gone by, second quarter. On 1st down, it's Fields. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Fields now to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. DeForest Buckner, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another, because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long.
And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. So that'll back them up 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters, as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Fields. Man open is Robinson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 18 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I think everything was impressive about that one, except they didn't get a 1st down. But I like their field position now after that play.
Yeah, now you got a pretty makeable field goal opportunity. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to bounce that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Bauer.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked off at the 48. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
On 1st down, Fields.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone.
Yeah, he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney.
His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead.
But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Let's go!
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks and no touchdown passes yet either. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Bauer. Looking sideline, incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Bauer. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Hey, we're going to do what we do.
Here's Joseph Charlton now,
as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Bears take over.
Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense.
And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw.
This one swung out to Montgomery.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll run on 1st down. It's Montgomery, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down.
Powers through him, and he's going to get this pretty close to a 1st down at the Colts 36. The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down.
Go, 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 run, run, run.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
A play fake, now Fields to throw.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Another try after the 1st down sack.
Fields, that's complete to Mooney.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. Give him 3 yards there, as that'll take us to 4th down.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And that will up the score now. It's 23-zip. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Colts football, and Michael Pittman, helmet back on and ready to go.
Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
First and 10, Taylor now.
Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory.
David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession.
We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fields. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Montgomery. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
To throw is Fields. And quickly into the hands of Robinson. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Now a 1st down throw, Fields.
And incomplete on the deep ball. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
To the air again, Fields.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Here's Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He juked him. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Colts football and Michael Pittman, helmet back on and ready to go.
A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweep.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit.
Coup for the extra point.
And the lead is now an even 30. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Another nice job there defensively. They've had him bottled up throughout this game. They used their scouting really well, but they've executed even better throughout this game. Their job now, don't relax, and all of a sudden, give them a chance to break off a big one.
We'll begin in the Motor City, in NFC North battle. Detroit hosting Minnesota. And it's the Lions who are out in front as they play the second quarter. Allen Lazard, a touchdown reception. From there, let's stay in the Midwest.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. Well, the Colts ready to go to work to start the third quarter. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. He gets this to Butler. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
We got 4. 44 is the mic. 44 is the mic. Take off.
On first down, Taylor. And he can only manage to get a couple. Second and 8 coming up.
He was tackled at the 46-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up second and 8.
Second down, another run with Taylor.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 47. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. The Bears in good field position to start out first and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8.
From just shy of midfield.
Fields. Robinson, a first down and then some.
And down right around the 37.
So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Out of the gun, Fields.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. Running left, Montgomery. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery.
A little second effort there on the strong run. And then dropped just inside of the 20. 52 yards on the ground for him so far. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Fields. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards. A 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today. But on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over this one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun. Bauer. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Bauer. Throw left side complete. That's Butler. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Back to throw. Bauer. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. He'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's 3rd down. And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Bauer. Under pressure, they got him again. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
I remember when I was a kid, and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
The Colts send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch taken right at the 10-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Back to throw. Fields.
Caught by Montgomery. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, Fields. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38.
Fields on 3rd down. And, oh, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
The Colts getting another possession here on offense.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Bauer. Throwing right, and that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Back to throw. Bauer. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense.
They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis.
2nd down at 5.
It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he will have the Bears first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A give. This is Montgomery. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Here's 2nd and 9. On play action. Fields. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Indy set to go on offense once more. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one. On 1st down, Bauer. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Bauer. That'll be caught right side. It's Butler. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On 1st and 10, Bauer. He'll get this off to Taylor. Fighting to stay on his feet past midfield. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 40. Again, he'll drop to throw. That's complete to Butler. And he's taken down inside the 30. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up. They'll look to throw again. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. Looking for the end zone. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Bears will get the football back.
No surprise. They try to throw the ball on 4th down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
Well, a little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up,
right?
Get
your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
from the gun on third down. Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Montgomery. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line.
Don't do us like that. Come on, baby. Let's go. 58 for Mike. 58 for Mike.
On the handoff, Taylor.
And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10.
2nd and 5.
Back to throw. Bauer.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Looking to throw. Bauer. Open man, Butler complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 34.
Let's go, baby.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Bauer.
Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Back to throw. Bauer toward the sideline. He will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. Continuing to steadily move the ball down the field. Not big play after big play, but these moderate gains getting him first downs.
And you know what they add up to, right? If you continue that pace and you continue to move it downfield, they add up into 6 points. That's exactly what you're looking for.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Looking to throw. Bauer. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And the Bears are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field.
And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10.
They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 14-yard line.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw it for a loss.
For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down.
Mike 36. Mike 36. It's been a long day.
Now it's Fields.
Man open is Robinson. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together.